Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my giant ginger cookie recipe with everybody. I absolutely love this recipe, and it has turned out perfect every single time. So what I have in here right now is actually 2 cups of granulated sugar, and to that you're going to be adding 3 sticks of butter. So there's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Wipe my hand off here. Alright. So we're going to cream together the butter and the sugar. Now the butter here was still kind of cold. So I'll actually lift it up here. Just kind of push some of this stuff off. Now once it gets to a fluffy consistency, like it's fixing to do right now, okay, now we're going to add in the eggs, push everything down. Alright, so I'm going to stop the camera here just for a second so I can go wipe my hands off and grab the eggs. Okay, so there's the 2 medium to large eggs. Usually I actually get medium or medium large. So there's the 2 eggs. You can put 2 whole eggs in. Alrighty, now the next thing we're going to be doing is I've actually got some candied ginger here. It doesn't call for candied ginger, like it says powdered ginger. This is probably maybe 1/8 of a cup. I'm just going to probably put in just a couple of teaspoons to give it some extra punch, because the dried stuff tends to be, the longer that it sits on the shelf, the volatile oils that are actually in the ginger tend to kind of disappear, and you have to put more ginger into it. So I'm actually going to put in probably, I would say, I just kind of guesstimate maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons. Just to kind of give it some, it's nice to bite into chunks of ginger while you're doing this. Alright, now after I've mixed the ginger and stuff up in the mixture, we're going to be adding a 1/2 cup of molasses. It can be regular molasses or it can be blackstrap. I prefer the blackstrap molasses. It actually has a deeper texture to it. Like, not so much texture, a deeper taste to it. It's got a heavier taste to it, and it's kind of like all the old-fashioned cooking when the pioneers cooked and stuff. You get a lot of that earthiness from the molasses, the blackstrap stuff. So I'll probably wind up scraping out the rest of that here just a sec or so. You don't want to. This is the good stuff. You don't want to waste this. So I will scrape out what's left of that. Alright, now we're going to give this a stir. And of course, being that it is a KitchenAid, we're going to scrape the bowl down. Alrighty. Alright. So, gonna leave that like that. Now, over here in a bowl, I've actually sifted 4.5 cups of flour. I actually didn't sift flour at one point, and I actually wound up with another half a cup or so of extra flour in the batter, which made the cookies heavy. So if you want these cookies to turn out the right way, you should actually sift your flour before you measure and put them in the measuring cups, because you will get extra flour if you do not sift. And where the hell is my book? Alrighty, so I'm going to tell everybody what I've got going on in here, and I apologize for the lighting in here. Here's my spices. So, right here in this little bowl here, I have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of salt. Now, I actually omitted the salt because the butter was salty, so I left the butter out. And I have, whoa. My bad. The page flipped over. There we go. Okay, so, yeah, the page flipped over, and I was actually reading you guys a coffee cake recipe. Let's try this again. Alright. In this little bowl right here, I have 4 teaspoons of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, and I left the salt out. So everything that I just said, I'll actually post up the recipe at the end of the video. So all of this is actually going to go into here. And you're going to just give it a really good mix. And the spices just smell absolutely amazing. I was actually quite surprised. There was a natural food store that went out of business. And the lady offered me, there is a huge bag of dried ginger right there. So that ginger was just freshly grated. So I think, what's the price on the bag? There's like $20 or $25 worth of dry ginger here, and I was just so ecstatic to get the ginger. I've been using it for pretty much everything. So once you've gotten all of your spices and stuff mixed up into your flour, you're going to gradually add your flour to the wet mixture a little at a time, so that way it absorbs. But when you go to mix, you don't need to over mix it, because you'll actually get the gluten in the flour to actually start making gluten, and the cookies will come out really, really heavy. So the less that you can mix it, the better these cookies are going to come out. So let me get that mixed into the batter, and I'll show you what it looks like after it's done. Alright, so once you're done mixing the dough, it should actually resemble Play-Doh. It should be a very, very soft dough that doesn't stick to your hands as you squeeze it. See, it's not even sticking to my hands. So this tells me that this has been worked in the right way. And so you're supposed to measure out, if you don't have an ice cream scoop, measure out 1/4 of a cup in your measuring cups. And for those of you that have ice cream scoops, this is actually a 1/4 cup ice cream scoop. So what you do is you reach down, scoop up, level off on the side of the bowl, and I've actually got a bowl here that's got nonstick coat into it that's been oiled. If you find that your scoop gets sticky, spray some Pam or some pan coat into this to keep it from getting stuck. So once we've got enough here, I'll actually show you what they look like. That is going to be the size of your cookie, and it will spread out. It's not going to stay like this. It will definitely spread out. What you're going to do next is you're going to, this is turbinado sugar. This is a really, really coarse-grained sugar. For those of you that live in Canada, the Bulk Food Barn actually carries the turbinado sugar. It's a Mexican-type sugar, just like Demerara sugar. And what you're going to do, so I'm going to put my sugar there. And I guess I can move my bowl over here a little bit. You're actually, if you want to, you can immerse the whole thing or just the top, and you just turn it upside down, very gently, just kind of mash it into the sugar. I like kind of coating it because it gives it a nice crunch. And you're just going to place it on your cookie sheet. And this will actually hold nine cookies, so they do spread out quite a bit. And so, just give it a good roll around in the sugar. So that's, some of you can see that. That's pretty much how well they're spaced out. I'll do one more. So I'll do the rest of them and bake them and show you what they look like after they come out of the oven. So these just came out of the oven. They've been in there for roughly between 15 and 20 minutes. Two ways you're going to know that they're done. First, by smell, and second, if you notice, there's actually cracks all through the cookies. The cracks are usually indications to let you know that the cookies are just about done. So that's pretty much what they look like, and they are absolutely delicious. You can actually freeze them, put them on a cookie sheet with some nonstick spray stuff, and shove them in the freezer and let them get hard. Put them in Ziploc bags, and you can actually have ginger cookies whenever you want. Just pop them out of the oven or pop them out of the freezer and pop them in the oven, and you've got cookies ready to go. So thanks for watching, and enjoy this recipe. Wish everybody happy holidays. Blessed be. Bye.